Massive win at the crib. The Sooners pulled out exactly what we hoped. We're going to talk about it here on the Sooner or Later Sports Show, a Hog Media production. That's Coop. I'm Jay. Thanks for pulling up here on the YouTube channel and listening. Wherever podcasts are downloaded and listened to while you're here. Please wipe your feet, like, subscribe, rate, review, give us 5 stars. You don't think we deserve it? Go ahead and give us 5 anyway and gift it. So, on this beautiful Sunday evening episode of the Sooner or Later Sports Show, presented by Sleeper, Coop and I is going to dive into this game. We're going to talk offense. We're going to talk defense. We're going to talk about all the stuff. Then we'll also go around and we'll talk about what happened in the SEC while also taking your questions. There's a lot of things to dive into in this game that got your boy excited. So make sure you check out our people over at Sleeper. They're going to hook you all up. 100% match on your first deposit on your daily fantasy up to $100. Check them out. Use the code UNFAIR and they will get you taken care of. Coop! How's your voice, man? Happy Sunday.
Yeah, I'm going to sound a little tone low-ish today, I think, so you can see. I don't know, maybe I need to scream more. And but
so you can get it back, see if it'll come back.
Yeah, it's got some screaming done this weekend. It was very, very exciting, and so everybody, thanks for pulling up. Lori, thanks for pulling up. Sissy, Red Fishing, Jake, Mark, and they hate me. I wonder if he's related to He Hate Me, the old XFL guy.
One of those two. Yeah, Mark, that was me and Coop holding hands in the concourse. It was beautiful. There was a lovely bromance going on there because there was a massive W. I don't think y'all understand how big that win was. We'll dive into that in just a second. I want to start with this, though, because I want to say, first off, good evening to all of you. We'll jump into the chat throughout the show like we always do, so it'll be a couple moments, but we'll leave with what we got. And then we'll come to the comment section. I'm starring it as we go. One day I'll be able to afford us a producer. And we'll have him do the production in the back end. But as of right now, we will, like I said, we'll star stuff, and I'm going to make sure that we leverage and we'll interact with you all on this show or whatnot. But Coop, how did you feel about the environment at the game? We were both there, of course. That's why we did not go live post-game. If you checked it out, John over Locked On Sooners did go live. Go check him out. He did a fantastic job. But we were actually there. The environment, in my personal opinion, tailgating looked fantastic. I got there late, but I got to see some of the tailgating. Yeah, they did it right. And in stadium, we're getting there. I'm feeling SEC ready. How did you feel about it, Coop?
Got to go outside. I think BV had said that the Walk of Champions traffic last week was the best it had ever been since they'd been there. I was not there, but I can promise you that it was better yesterday. Man, there was just so much good about it. Got to hang out with Isaiah Autry-Dent's folks. Connor Stallions was walking around outside the stadium
in town.
So there's something there. But some of the tailgating, that North Oval tailgating, is just beautiful. And it actually goes even past Campus Corner. Like there's usually tailgating tents right around the Campus Corner area. But it went back, and if you went to school there. Usually once you get past Campus Corner, you get back towards the I think it's the First Presbyterian Church, and there's that's where everything quits, kind of being football-y, and it's just back to Norman. And but there was tailgates and tents all the way back there. And I got to say this: if we have any Michigan brethren watching, you all showed out. I am super impressed. So much maize and blue wandering around the city of Norman. Inside the stadium, hanging outside the stadium, and a lot of confidence and pride, in your program. Dudes were walking around with the Michigan flag, going a 5 wide, when you're walking in the mall and a family comes walking at you and you got to lay up against the wall. But the environment, it was palpable. Just the moment that I got out of the truck, I could feel it from every aspect, and so many people were just taking in the day. So yeah, man, the environment was absolutely terrific.
It was so electric. The people, they were great. Michigan fans were fantastic. Like, it's very rare that you really feel like we feel as good as we do about visitors. Like, there's been some visitors where you just like, some okay. No, Michigan fans were pretty cool. They were for the most part cool. Like, I've heard a few people call him the Texas of the Big Ten. It always cracks me up. People say that. Personality wise, they were really cool. They were great. They were fun to be around. They were nice. They were cordial. We had good conversations. I mean, you saw a couple of them lose their minds, but that's every fan base. I've seen Sooner fans get into fights in Auburn. It was pretty funny.
Yeah.
But they were great. The fans were awesome, and they represented. You saw some maize randomly in between all of the striping or whatnot, which was pretty funny just to see random dots of yellow look like those the security guards. They're watching out for everybody.
No, that was pretty funny.
They had plants. They had government plants in there, and so it was good. And as our guy RDS always points out, please get your butts in the water. I don't know why y'all haven't done that, and we'll talk about that even more in detail in a minute. But we did a really good job on the tailgating stuff. Like I said, it felt good being out there. And fans, y'all did a great job of showing up and showing out. You were loud. You were hardcore participants. I'm still recovering with my voice. Coop is as well. He's been choking or whatnot. We're going to get ourselves going like crazy. So what I would like to do is we're going to go, of course, both sides of the ball. Most important thing that from the games, what we liked, what we felt like was what jumped out the most to us. So we're going to do that. We should start on defense, shouldn't we? I think defense deserves the respect, the way they perform. We should start with defense. So we're going to lead off with defense. Then we're going to go talk some offense. Then we're going to, mix it up with players, your thoughts as fans, and then we're going to go right into what happened around the SEC. But first, this video is powered by our partners over at Sleeper. Have you checked them out before? You've got to. They're a lot more than just season-long fantasy leagues. They have daily fantasy sports. And so this year, millions of users will enjoy the ability to play fantasy sports on Sleeper. And the app gives you even more than that. You can get live stats, so real-time updates for those players and visualizations of all the stats you're looking for. You also get a news feed that gets you all those updates of your favorite players and teams, of course, the ones that you're playing in the daily fantasy sports world, and real-time chats. You can engage with other users on individual plays, as well as performances throughout college football, NFL, as well as the NBA season. So download the #1 sports app today so you can experience this as well. Use our promo code UNFAIR, and you will get up to $100 matched on your first deposit. Terms and conditions do apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Coop, we got to talk about this defense first. I think the defense deserves all the respect for what they put together, because when you put together a performance like this, 24-13, you basically, you owned the night. There were a lot of things that I could talk about with this defense. Like, I could go literally position by position, and I think we probably should. Yeah. It probably makes the most sense. I'll let you choose. Which group do you want to start with?
Let's start where it all starts, the defensive line.
All right, there we go, Coop. How did you feel about the defensive line in this game?
So the big thing that, when people were coming in was, how can Oklahoma handle the physicality of the lines for Michigan? And I can promise you this. I can promise you this, Jay. Of the 4 units, that's the OL and DL for Michigan, the OL DL for Oklahoma, the offensive line for Michigan now is a lot less sure of themselves than any of those other 3 units. That was where the biggest, ass whooping was every play.
It really was.
It was every single play. And, we'll get into the stats here in a little bit because I got about 5 different stats I wanted to share. But your boy David Stone, that boy, You might as well just throw an offsides call on him because he's coming to the backfield and he's going to be hanging out back there because, I mean, he that's just where he made his night, was in the backfield. He was disturbing plays. He was in the backfield. Every single time that, they would get everything to go, there would be an absolute, a big zero in the middle. And then I also didn't realize that he was one of the upbacks on the punt, on the punt team. Like,
yeah,
I pointed that out to you, and I was like, is that Stoney back there, like right in front of the punter? But yeah, got to give it up. I mean, it just went across the board from Marvin Jones Jr. had probably his best game so far. I mean, that's of two, right? But Jaden Jackson got himself a sack. He was he was disruptive all night long. G Baby got in the back. I mean, those boys were great. We have to. I mean, you looked up when we saw Marcus Strong out there stonewalling folks, and that's how the night went for the Michigan offensive line.
The violence you got from our defense was everything we hoped for and more. And so I kind of want to say this in this way because this is kind of one of those that you've heard me say before to all of you who are listening to us. And I want to give this preference also. Let me pull up my note that I wrote myself to make sure I didn't miss what I wanted to say. So when it comes to the players and the staff, the one thing I appreciate most about all of them is that they do take responsibility for what happens on the field. They do take blame. If it's on them, sometimes they'll take blame that ain't they blame. Mm-hmm. So I want to put that out there because I had some folks in the comments on my morning after talking about, who had what blame of what BV said in pressures. Cool. Believe me, we do a great job of accountability as an organization, so that's not a worry to me. I say that specifically because the reason why I have been so adamant that I have faith in Brent Venables, why I have a BV We Trust shirt, hoodie, all of that. One reason, Coop. He came here and gave us one of the best defenses we've seen since the last time he was here. That defensive line was maulers. Yeah. They literally was punching them dudes in the face. As it was mentioned here in the comments by my guy, David Chamberlain. Teddy and Gabe were giddy talking about it. They were so excited. We were excited watching it. It felt like an out-of-body experience of seeing something that we just have not seen in a while. And the funny thing is we saw this last season. Coop, if you really think this is what we saw last year. And we was asking the question, well, I mean, is the defense line going to be that good? But no, we saw them doing this stuff last year. And now it's rolled over into this game. And here's my one point I'm going to add. Stone was fantastic. Jaden Jackson was fantastic. Dominic Williams was fantastic. Grayson Halton was fantastic. I'm sorry. Like, the entire interior was awesome. Your edges. We'll go through edges in a second, but let me point this out, though. The one concern going into this game was the offensive line. Mm-hmm. And rightfully so. As fans, you being concerned about this offensive line, I can't even argue with you. I got it. I pointed it out myself. But I said this also in a video. Me and Coop, we were together talking about this as well, and I've said this in individuals, and I try to reiterate this a lot for you all. And I'm not saying that I'm trying to talk to y'all like y'all are five. I really am at this moment because I want y'all to really understand what I'm trying to say. For the physical brand of football that you all want us to play, there will be collateral damage, unfortunately. We will occasionally see our own players deal with pain, deal with injuries, deal with situations. I said this for one reason. Did y'all see how many players on Michigan got hurt in this game? They lost 3 offensive linemen in this game. They lost 3.
And
one of their
6
best
players.
6 players. One of their best, I think he's a tackle or guard.
The
guard. All-American.
Yeah.
Their dude. We knocked him out the game. Why? Physical football. And I only say that because we deal with collateral damage on our side because we try to build our linemen to be able to handle what our defensive line is putting out. And the unfortunate thing is sometimes, dog, we can't even handle our own defensive line. They're just that good. that physical brand that you all want, here it is. We got it. We're seeing it. We're taking out other teams' players on accident because we're just tossing them and falling.
It is, and that's kind of one of the things where I was going to go for too, Jay, was we heard all of this stuff. And you know what, Nick Saban, get your monkey butt in the water too, because I'm tired of you not watching anything, not watching any games. And so for you to, it was crazy. Michigan's got a freshman quarterback coming on the road, and their offense was putrid last year, and they had a good defense. It sounds pretty similar, except for we got a dude who accounted for 44 touchdowns in college football last year.
There you go.
So how about you put some spect on the Sooners now, Nick?
Spec.
And there was not any I'm falling down hurt to keep, counteract the tempo. We were legitimately hurting people. Not on purpose, just through the roughness of this defensive line. And then you saw, it ended with Barham. He was the last dude to go down, making the tackle on Torrey Blaylock. And, that's another, freaking All-American, All-Conference player. But it was every single play that was going on. Guys were getting up, shaking their shoulders. They were, the one dude got hit in the junk. We saw that one, and they had to, pull him out for a play. But we went through 6 of. So I will say this is, can OU's team hold up with the toughness of the SEC? I'm putting it on record right now, Jay. Is the SEC ready to stand up to the toughness that the Oklahoma Sooners can bring to the town? Your town, our town, wherever we're playing, this team's bringing toughness, and you got to match it. It's not the reverse. Let's not get it twisted anymore, because these guys on both sides of the ball, offense did more than their fair share, but the defense, they took the fight directly to Michigan's offensive line, and that unit is looking themselves in the mirror this morning wondering, is it us or was it just them being that good?
We were licking our chops the entire game, dog. Like, we were ready to just put a shot into. We were just mauling right through the middle of them and going straight for them, dog. Like, that's something that I expected us to be this good on the defensive line, but there were some things they were doing. I was just like, oh wow, this is a lot more than I even anticipated. The rotations on the edge of Taylor Wine, PJ Adebaware, MJJ.
Underrated game.
PJ had an underrated game. He really did.
Very much.
PJ, MJJ, Marvin Jones Jr., R. Mason Thomas. You got all 4 of those dudes getting out there, and they did a good job of just making it really hard for Michigan to just run the way they wanted to. Michigan's game plan in this game was to run the ball down our throat, 100%. Their goal was to try to open things up for Bryce, because they know that him being as young as he is, it's going to take some time to get to where you want to get to. We just did not allow it.
And
we didn't.
And before anybody gets too excited and says, yeah, but y'all gave up 100. Okay. BV has already came out and said, done a long touchdown run to start the second half. It was a bad play call. The 2 people that kind of got caught up on that one were Peyton Bowen and Courtney Guillory. Guillory was getting yelled at by BV from the sideline. If you go back and watch, he's getting yelled at because they were in a bad call, that he didn't like it. I think that should have just been a timeout call at that point. And so what happened? Bowen got sucked up a little bit too far in the middle, and Guillory just kind of froze deer in the headlights and didn't make a choice. He tried to play cautious football, and by the time he made anything, Haynes was out the backside. But Jay, outside of that one run, 31 carries for 71 yards. And that is the bread and butter of that team, is running. So they ended up, yes, the 75 still counts, but also another thing about this defense, and I'm trying to stay under control here, Jay. Do you know that the best 2 consecutive offensive plays for Michigan last night were a 12-yarder and an 8-yarder?
Yes.
Anytime that they had any type of I say 5+ yardage play, it was either a 1, 0, or a negative right afterwards. Like, it was not good.
Yeah, we did everything that our fans would have hoped we have done in response. So back to that play. I talked about that in the video, and BV said he had the bad call and everything. And like, I know that he said that, and I agree. It was a bad call. And I said, to me, the problem I felt with that is, first off, I said it was BV's. That was on BV on that. Even,
To me,
after the presser,
yeah.
when I watched the video, when I watched the film again, you could tell that Guillory kept looking over there trying to figure out what is he saying. Like, I don't understand. It was one of, because the thing that BV does still do, it sometimes annoys me, but there's not much you can do about it. BV sends plays out sometimes late, and he'll make adjustments like after he sees kind of what they're doing, and that's just his style, and that's okay. The players are typically prepared, but when you have a true freshman, there's a good chance they're going to miss a spot. And in that play, that was on Guillory missing that spot. Like, and Teddy even pointed it out. And Teddy, I love how he pointed it out. He said Kendall Daniels being the cheetah going to the outside like he did, it kind of blocked the visual for Guillory. Makes sense. To me, I was expecting for Daniels to kind of set the edge there, make sure Underwood goes back in, and then Guillory could go get him if Underwood kept the ball. But the run, that hole, Guillory's supposed to cover that. I don't blame him for not being there for it because BV in the call. I'm just saying that's who was supposed to have been there. If he was there, that play gets stopped. But you're right, Coop. I would have said the same thing. I would have called a timeout on that first play.
I mean,
when I felt uncomfortable, like, oh no, that's the wrong one. Blah 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 blah. I would have called timeout too.
And you know what? I think that a timeout gets called at that point. And I know that we're getting kind of off the subject here, but I know a timeout probably gets called at that point if they knew it was going to be 75 yards. Like,
yeah.
I think that like Brett Venables wasn't thinking like, oh crap, I didn't pull the trigger on it. And, I'm thinking like a 10, 15 yard run, something like that. But I digress. I just say that again, Michigan came in here with their identity and we made them question that. And Jay, let's go to the defensive backs next because I know that you and I have the same feeling about the defensive backs. And one guy in specific. Brother.
And that one person, I think he did something. And somebody asked a question in here. One person has sold us on the recruiting trail. Like, he is the shining example on recruiting, which we may have two different people, but this one person has literally is going to create a tsunami on the recruiting trail for Oklahoma for 26 and 27 because he proves that if you got it, I will gladly throw you out there as a true freshman. Even though we've done it in multiple positions. You do that, he will say, no, I will gladly put you out there. Cortland Guillory, man.
Yeah.
He literally has made it look perfect for Oklahoma, especially in recruiting. All them young players were looking at him like, dude, he a true freshman. And he got, I think it was our guy Brody Lusk. He's the one that said it. It wasn't Colton. I thought it was Colton. It was Brody. Brody tweeted out that Cortland was targeted 8 times in that game. He gave up 1 catch. He was there.
Jay, it wasn't just the fact that the dude pretty much, put folks on lockdown. It was the fact that you ran into Cortland Guillory, and he kind of punked you. Like, not only was he swiping the ball out of the way, I mean, he was just in the perfect position every single time that he was thrown. The ball was in his area, and that's Donovan McCulley. Like, everybody was like, well, Cortland's great and all, but at 5'10" or whatever, like, is he going to be able to stand up? McCulley was 6'5", and McCulley didn't want that little kid playing with him anymore because that wasn't fun.
Nope.
And I will say this. I mean, dude, yes, did he get out of position on that one run? He sure did. He really did. But when the ball went out there, yeah, I mean, Guillory Island, I am down for it. Collins.
I will fight you all for that. No, we will not be using that. That is hilarious.
No. But no, it was again. When we talked about our breakdown on Wednesday, I said you want to put those receivers in conflict and you want to put the offensive tackles in conflict. Yeah. That I was 50-50 because our defensive ends, our edges didn't even have to put folks in conflict because the interior, we took their strength on their offensive line and we put them in conflict, and we then put them in the injury tent, and then we put them back on the bus. So I said it. And then so Gentry.
So the questions are out there. Everybody's posting about it, of course. Yes. Gentry looked like growing injury. Pulled, strained a growing, pulled, something like that.
And could have gone back in.
Could have gone back in. I think they're going to sit him probably until Auburn. But he looked good, too. His shoulder, it wasn't a shoulder problem, which I'm good with.
It wasn't
it's
a shoulder,
probably a pull from chasing somebody. I'm cool with. I need him to be back healthy for the Auburn game. But, hey, Jordan looked good.
Devon Jordan.
How you felt about Devon Jordan.
Devon Jordan, yeah. I mean, I will say that there were two plays, and one of them was on Gentry, one of them was on Devon Jordan. So I want to talk about those plays. And those were when Michigan ran the action one side of the field and then countered back, and Underwood rolled out, and he had a level concept, and there was somebody over the back and then somebody up front. And then one time I think that there was just one receiver back over the top, and both the safety and the defensive back, the first time was Gentry, the second time was Devon Jordan. And both of them came after the quarterback instead of communicating and having that figured out. That was a great play design. Those were the two longest pass plays outside of the miracle what was the Giants receiver? David Tyree catch over RSJ.
Yeah, McCulley had a catch over. Yeah, that was a massive. And Teddy pointed it out even on there. I didn't get to finish up the Oklahoma breakdown, but he pointed out that they had 140 yards on those three big plays. And then the rest of it was 148 yards total of offense that they had to grind out. That to me is a good thing. And only one of those big three plays, only one of them led to actual touchdown. The problem is we got what was that? Is that we'll talk these penalties that we do keep doing stupid stuff. We gotta cut that out. Running into the kicker. Yeah. I love Samuel Masigo because he had a really good game as we transition into the linebackers and Cheetahs. He had a really good game. Owen Heineke is your MVP for the night. That dude, I guess he is for real like arena incarnation.
Mighty Mouse.
Because he Mighty for real Mouse. Earned his spot as a walk-on. He balled. But
did
stupid penalties. Roughing the kicker. What was the other one?
I've got the free first downs. I've got the face mask by Marvin Jones.
Yep.
And that one, I don't think that's a stupid penalty. I think he is 7 inches taller than Justice Haynes, and Haynes kind of collapsed, and he reached down and he just caught him. I mean, so there's that one. You've got the roughing the punter. You got the super cool fake holding call that got called on Dom, and then obviously the muff punt. But
yeah,
I mean those are the big ones. So, but linebacker, yeah, man. There's two players, and both of them I think that people thought were very, very cute and cuddly, and this is good for the heart stories. One of them was Owen Heineke, and I promise you, folks are going to be watching film and go, oh, damn, that's not a fun story. That's a ball player.
That's a ball player. 100%. But you know who else is a ball player, though? Someone that I was told by Oklahoma State fans that, have fun with him. You enjoy him. He's just not going to hustle. He doesn't have the grind in his system. He doesn't have the dog. Kendall Daniels killed a man. It's like Brick killed a guy.
I'm
gonna start calling him Brick moving forward. That's what it looked like. It was a brick wall running into Brick killed a guy.
There were several times to where Kendall Daniels was involved in a play, and I thought, why is the edge out there? And then I was like, oh yeah, 5.
Oh yeah,
that's right.
I forgot. He's not an edge.
That's Kendall Daniels. So right when that happened, so again, I kind of talked about we had right behind you and I, there was Michigan fan with his kid. And if that dude's watching us tonight, hopefully your kid's doing fine. Dude was trying to shove Kleenexes in his kid's ears when we were on offense, and he was like, it's really loud for them. And I was like, bro, first drive of the game on a first down, kid is like, it's too loud for me. And I was like, oh man, it's gonna get worse.
It's gonna get worse, Bubba.
But
I'm sorry.
But right then, and Michigan fans, they're looking for it. They want a ball don't lie scenario. And when Kendall Daniels came down and took that man to the boatman, he was like, dude, that's targeting. And I was like, bro, he hit him damn near with his chest. Like Kendall Daniels almost hit him with his chest. And but I mean, that was, I think Kerry Murdoch said on the post game report that they did that he had a decibel meter, and that's the loudest part of the night. That he was testing it throughout the night, and when Daniels hit the dude, was the loudest portion of the crowd all night long.
Yeah, because that was really loud. That was a massive pop that we got.
And Justice was out for 2 or 3 series after that. Like they had to kind of check on him and make sure, because the last thing you wanted. Why would you do this?
It's okay. Continue.
But no, I thought you were gonna show it, and I was like, that
don't worry, it's coming.
That guy's got a family.
Really
Early in the night, Kobe McKenzie run fits were really, really good. He was getting in the backfield. He was doing what Kobe McKenzie does and just arrive with violence. Like we said, Heineke, they rolled in Omasigo. They had such a good, rotation of the linebackers going on. I saw one time where it was Heineke and McKenzie. I saw one time when it was Heineke and Kip. I saw one time where it was Omasigo and Heineke. Like, they were rolling throughout the whole time. And I just, again, it must be fun to play as a linebacker in a game like this, because this is why you want to play football. Is you want, as a linebacker, you just want to go tackle folks. And when Michigan kept on rolling in 3-4 tight ends going in there, you know that you just get to go running at the line and create some violence. And as long as you stay in your fit, you're good and golden. And I mean, it happened quite often.
No matter what anybody tells you or could try to tell me about like what Michigan was trying to do, the fact that they kept rolling out a whole bunch of linemen and they were rolling out multiple linemen to play tight end. That told me everything I needed to know about what they were trying to do. Why? Because that was basically we gotta run the ball if we're gonna try to be competitive in this game. They couldn't get anything out the way they wanted. That touchdown run was because they had like 8 million running backs out there. And I mean, a lineman to go along with the tight ends. They were doing that. That was exactly what it was. But I digress. Kendall Daniels tried to kill a guy. That was great. You get a combination of Reggie Powers, Robert Spears-Jennings, Peyton Bowen, all over the place. The secondary was very impressive to me. There was situations where we could have probably got a little bit more depth. And you could tell it was more so players that it was newer players. Like Kendall should have got deeper in one play. We probably should have had Cortland a little bit deeper on certain plays, on certain catches they got. And it's going to happen. You're going to have plays that don't match up perfectly. So you can't expect perfection when you're going against actually good offensive coordinators. Chip Lindsey's going to be a solid one. But overall, Coop, the defense gave us everything we were hoping for. We knew they were going to try to muscle us. They couldn't do that. We knew they were going to run the ball. They couldn't do that. And Bryce Underwood, we knew he was going to have training wheels on. And guess what? We were there to knock off a wheel at a time very slowly. Let's dive into the offense. Thank y'all for pulling up. Hit the like button if you're new to the channel. Subscribe, rate, review, give us 5. We'll take questions after we talk offense. But first, are you using the Sleeper app for daily fantasy sports? If not, you are definitely missing out. Let's look at this for like tonight. We've got Josh Allen at half a yard. Oh, that's a guaranteed win. You got to get that one because all you got to do is pick more or less on 2 or 5 players, put them all together, and you can win up to 1,000 times your money. Yeah, 1,000 times. So Josh Allen at the more status, we're going to definitely take that because it only makes sense to take that. He's going to throw the ball at least once, right? Derrick Henry tonight at rushing touchdown at 0.5. So, yeah, I think he's going to score a touchdown. Any touchdown for Justin Jefferson? Why not? Going down here, Caleb Williams on Monday night. Let's stick to tonight's game. Mark Andrews, anytime touchdown? We'll go less just for that. Hate to do it on my Sooners, but it has to be that way sometimes. And you can jump into action as well. Pick some games. If you think you know football, feel free to try out your knowledge with real money on here. Like I said, choose 2 or more of your favorite players, pregame or even live. You can do this stuff live, more or less on their stats, up to 1,000 times. So check them out. Use our promo code UNFAIR, and you'll get 100% matched up to $100 on your first deposit. Terms and conditions do apply. Check out Sleeper's terms of use for details, and let's make it happen. Are you using? All right. Yeah, so I had to steal Gabe's, but first, real quick on that one. But thank y'all for pulling up. Hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, rate, review, give us 5. I was hoping not to, but I accidentally did that. But I digress. You, offense, man. Look, John Mateer's that dude. Let's just go ahead and just say that what the obvious is, Coop. John Mateer is that guy. He's that dude. He's that freaking good. And we tried to told folks this was the expectation. Now, I get everybody's a little concerned about the way he runs, but don't get it twisted. This has been done in the SEC before. And as long as you're athletic enough and smart enough not to take too many hard hits, which I think he'll get better at, he'll be able to do this all season and be just fine. Just understand that.
Jay, I mean, hopefully I'm not being too grandiose here, but I think all of us is, if you're a massive Sooner fan, you can point back towards a game that you watched as a kid and that solidified yourself as a Sooner fan.
Yep.
I don't think it's too crazy to say that this game last night, kids are going to be talking about this in 15, 16, 17 years and saying, no, my first game where I became a Sooner fan was that John Mateer versus Michigan game. Because we saw what John did, and I don't think that anybody is going to overstate kind of what John did. But the way that he orchestrates the crowd, listen, the Baker Mayfield things ain't going to go anywhere. The only time that I'm going to get annoyed with it is when we just need to say, he's John Mateer. But, I mean, he does so many things with the charisma, the running, the passing, him getting the fans fired up right before going in. I think we called a timeout right before going in for the second touchdown. At the end of the game, same situation, the hits that he took. But this was a game last night because I think of the entire team, but definitely because John Mateer, that this is where some Sooner fans were going to be made for the rest of their lives because of this one.
100%. This is the game. This is the one where fans are going to be like, yep, I am a fan of the Sooners, a fan of John Mateer. He ran it comfortably. And shout out Deion Burks here. He gets his score because Deion Burks also got his revenge against the state of Michigan for not recruiting him. He had to go to Purdue because they didn't want him. And then he went out there and cooked these boys, got his revenge. But if there's anything we know, John Mateer is a dude. The throws that he made in this game, like the plays he made on top of throws, he avoids the rush, does a great job of moving around the defenders, then he launches that thing. Like it was the sack. They blitzed the nickel. I think they blitzed the nickel a lot. That was their way of containing John Mateer, was blitzing the nickel. It didn't work, but they kept doing it. He broke the tackle, run up the sidelines, launched that pass to Isaiah Satania, Coop. And when he did that, I lost my mind.
Yeah.
I was like, he hit him. And then, of course, they said he stepped out of bounds, which I don't know. I think there was green. We were looking at it. It looked like green grass, but whatever. Yeah.
I'm just going to say the officials didn't factor into the game when it all was said and done. but they didn't get an A. They didn't grade out A+ last night. That's what I'll say. But Jay, I'll also say this. Javonte Barnes, I apologize. You got those games and you've got those opportunities where you come out. I think Tennessee last year, early in the game before he took a really big hit, he had some really decent runs. Man, he just each one of the running backs really had their moments. I'm going to press pause on Jaden Ott right now because it kind of feels to me that every time Ott got the ball, somebody was in his face immediately. Yeah, I know there was a couple times where there were handoffs that there were literally people fighting for the ball. And so, but I got to say this: Tory Blaylock, we Aaron Gordoned the University of Michigan, and if you don't get that reference, Aaron Gordon apparently tore his hamstring after game 4 or 5 in the NBA playoffs. Supposed to be out 4 to 6 weeks. 2 days later, he is running
4 to 6
around,
years or something
jumping,
like that. Yeah.
dunking. Yeah, and so Tory Blaylock definitely played through some pain. Hopefully, we found out the cocktail that they gave Nussmeier last year and just hooked up Tory with it. But I mean, we ran the ball effectively. I think that I said in a text between you and a dinosaur that I was looking for like a total cumulative 120 yards plus rushing, and you just have to make sure that it is a continuous threat, and we were going to be good. And I think what was it, 132, so just a few yards more. Man, they did a great job with it. And as far as Mateer, every single year in the SEC, there's a dude who is one of the best quarterbacks in the SEC who was doing what John Mateer was doing last night. Now, is he going to have to do that throughout the whole year? I do not think so. I don't think it is sustainable, but I'm okay if he's running 10 to 12 times a game. And again, dude squats like 550 pounds. I mean, he is built more like, and your comp has always been a very better passing Jalen Hurts. And Jalen Hurts is still doing that stuff in the NFL.
Yep.
And so, Mateer's my offensive MVP. I would say Burks comes right behind that. Absolutely just blows my mind that we keep on just not going. We do have wide receiver 1, and it's Burks. Like, we just keep on forgetting that he's really good. But it's time. I told you, we got 2 players, Jay, that it's not a cute story. Jaren Kanak is a damn tight end. And he looked like a very good one last night.
He is legit.
Jay,
he can catch. He can catch. He can catch. And he can block.
Hey, Jay. No, they had special designs. Kanak picked off the mayonnaise guy, Hellman's. He picked off Barham on one of the runs. He picked off the other safety on one of the runs. I mean, he was the lead reason for at least 2 touchdowns in one of the bigger runs. And I can promise you this, Jay, guess who is the number 1 receiving tight end in the SEC?
Jaren Kanak.
That is correct.
Yeah, Kanak leads the way, which is wild to even say and to think, right? That he leads the way right now. It's crazy to think that, but that's how it's going, man. Kanak is amazing at what he's doing. Let's go back to the running backs real quick, though. That's what I want to talk about, because I do want to give Kanak his flowers because he deserves it. Back-to-back games. Right now, statistically, he is the top tight end in the SEC. John Mateer leads the SEC in passing right now in yards. He's not Taylor Green in touchdowns. Taylor Green's got like 10 passing touchdowns, which is absurd. But statistically, this team is starting off extremely strong in all capacities. If he keeps this up, Kanak will be an all SEC tight end. That's kind of terrifying to say if you really think about it.
Wait.
Any of us
say that again? Say that again.
If he keeps this up, he could end up being an all-conference SEC tight end. I did not think that was going to happen. I'm just going to.
He is tied at the most receiving yards in the nation as a tight end.
Son of a gun. So he may
number 1 in the
could end
nation.
up being an All-American. Wow, That's pretty good.
Running backs.
Running backs, but I want to talk about that real quick.
Go for it.
People pointed out Jaden Ott looks like he's still coming back from injury. He had some hesitation with him. He definitely had some he had some hesitation to what he did. Torrey Blaylock took the ball and he went and he played. Like there was no hesitation with him, which is exactly what you were hoping for, even though he came in with the injury. You know, we talked about that. I want y'all to get a little respect on the name Javonte Barnes. And I only say that because, no, he is not our best running back. No. And Christopher, I disagree. He's not been a disappointment. He's been hurt. It's kind of hard to be a disappointment if you're hurt. Like, they're sitting him out from injury, like actual injuries. Again, back to what I said at the beginning. Let me remind you all. The physical play of ball that you want us to play will lead to collateral damage. And Jaden Ott is an example of collateral damage. You hit a dude's hard enough and you mess up their shoulder, unfortunately, guess what? You probably taking your own teammates out too sometimes. That is what happens. So for me with Ott, I'm just waiting for him to get fully healthy and feel more comfortable. Because he was hitting some dudes, like our dudes, who was hitting those dudes, who also took those dudes and knocked some dudes out the game. Just remember that. Like, Michigan lost like 5 players in that game, at minimum.
That reminded me of the I'm a dude playing a dude disguised as
another dude. There were dudes everywhere getting hurt, man. It was falling like flies. And I thought that was kind of wild. I was like, dang, there's a lot of people getting hurt in this game. Knock on wood. We really did not see anything. But I want y'all to put a little respect on Javonte Barnes' name. And I say that because not only because of his durability, but he found a way. He was skirting through those blocks and he was getting him yards. I think he averaged 6 yards per carry in that game. He gave us something. He said, you know what, I'm going to run north. I'm not going to try to run east and west and outrun these dudes. Give it to me up the middle, and I'm just going to run past and jump through people and see what I can do. And he did it. He did it. He did it. I was happy that Barnes gave us something, and it was exactly what you would want from a back of his caliber. Is someone that's going to be power. He's going to run up the middle and just go, and he found holes. He made it. He gave us the vision, and he slipped through between people, and he did something. That's where I'm satisfied. Go ahead.
And Javonte, yeah, I mean, like, we know who he is, but it looked, I mean, this like yesterday was much better than last week. And yes, in the fourth quarter, he still ran into the back. I watched David Montgomery do it a couple times watching the Lions-Packers game earlier. So sometimes you got an offensive lineman right in your face right from the get, and I'm pretty sure David Montgomery is pretty good at running the football in the NFL. So it will happen, but he had wiggle. He got thin. He didn't run. Just just take the ball and go Leroy Jenkins into the back of the offensive line. Like, he did have some squirt to him. He extended plays. And Jay, by God, we got in the I formation.
We got in the I formation, y'all. He got a first down with it. That's where I want to start.
Guess who carried the ball? Javonte Barnes.
It's Barnes. And I'm not saying I want y'all to say he's the best player ever. I just want y'all to understand and have the right expectations for him. Right? That's really been always my thing.
Chamberlain, you got it. Javonte and David and John Mateer, like, those were two of the reasons why we threw out a 8-minute and 27-second drive.
That was just
because I promise you, when it got back down to 8, we were all looking up at the clock and going, all right, so they took over, what was it, like 10 minutes and 20 seconds, 21 seconds or something like that. And I mean, that's like acing the test on the 4-minute drill.
It really is. And that's where you get satisfied. He gave you enough. Now, granted, we're not saying that the running game is good. We're saying the running game needs to be improved. We got to improve run blocking. We got to get the fits. I think that we've got the line that we're going to roll with forward. Fasusi is good. He said it after the game that he came out with a little ankle deal. I think it was Baklinko that came in for him. No, Logan Howland.
He got rolled. No, it was Howland, yeah.
Howland came in, and he looked pretty good. But Fasusi said he got rolled up on. He'll be back. He's good. So you'll have Fasusi back out there at left. Left guard Ozeta he kicked tail, took names, and was in his fits. We just got to get better push, especially with us running an RPO. A dinosaur was telling me that, the biggest problem is when you're running the offense that we're running, sometimes you don't get that push because it's more a lot of them is getting ready to go into pass in comparison to going to run because, RPO. We got to get better on that and get better on just doing design runs and pushing people around. While at the same time, remember, we play a very physical brand and our physicality is starting to come out on people, and it's a good thing. And I think for the rest of the season, we won't take our own teammates out. People are going to get back to closer to 100% where they're comfortable. Braces will be coming off, and they'll go out there and start dominating again. But, man, overall, yeah, be happy. Be happy. Chuck, yes, Guillory, Gentry, strain growing, probably will be back. We'll wait for the official prognosis from BV on Tuesday's show. Actually, he'll probably talk about it tonight on the coach's corner, but he'll talk about it Tuesday's presser. That's definitely going to be a question. It's going to be asked, but I digress. Dion Burks, Keontez Lewis, Coop.
Even
These wide
Satania.
receivers are looking fun.
Hey, and Jay.
Isaiah Satania, even though he muffed that punt, and I want to fight him for it. Because what's fun? Because I told you, the bad part is I looked at Coop and I literally said it right before. I was like, dude, I'm looking at Coop. I'm like, man, he bet not F this up.
He's going to F this up.
I said to him.
Exact words.
I hope you don't F this up.
And the Cowboy Michigan lady turned around and looked at you, and she just kind of smiled. And then it happened, and she looked at you like you had witchcraft. Like, she was like...
Yes, because I saw it. I saw it. I'm like... Because it was more of the circumstances was too good to be true for the second time in a row, right? You get them in their own territory and you do a great job of like the defense just was lights out. I figured a freebie was coming from us at some point, and that was the freebie. It's every time at night I get scared. I guess it's the lights that keeps ruining everybody's ability to field a punt, well, at least on our side. We got to get better at that. But Satania with that catch made up for it. Bro. Him breaking up that interception.
Oh, yes.
Made up for it.
That's Satania. I mean, that could be. I mean, I think it's not too. It should not be understated. Like, I mean, he saved because he popped that ball up. It should have been a pick, and Satania saved Mateer for it. And if I'm Mateer, I think Satania gets another pair of headphones. But
yeah, he's gonna probably buy him something, a nice set of steaks or some that. But they did a good job with that. Like Mateer, the receivers were doing a good job of getting into spots where you get open. That fade to start the game to Burks,
bro.
Like I talk about it. That was the perfect play because of the way the design was. I've seen the film guys break it down. It was the perfect spot. I do wish he would have let him a little bit more in and he could have caught it and ran with it, but the fade was perfect. It was perfect. It was exactly what you wanted. He caught it, boom. Deep play, first down. You feel good because what that told me, we'll cook Michigan's wide DBs. Because I did say this on the show. I asked them, and I'm going to apologize to the Michigan fans that are in here. They may be here. I don't know if they are. They probably aren't because I don't think they're that ridiculous. But I did ask the question, Coop, last week, who was going to stop Keontez Lewis? My bad. I should have asked y'all who was going to stop Dion Burks, who got revenge on the state of Michigan.
And yeah, to you guys in the comments. Be educated when you talk your mess because, hey, we stopped Jalen Milroe in a meaningless bowl game. Yeah, you did it almost as good as we did, and while they had everything to play for. So congratulations. I appreciate y'all for doing almost as good as we did. But I do say
exactly.
I do say this, Jay, and somebody said it in the comments a few strokes up here. Jenny Reynolds. You know who was out and running through warm-ups before the game, and who was jumping around when people were getting excited? Who is that, Jay?
Giovanni Gibson. He was in full pads.
He went
He
through
was running
warm-ups.
through drills. He went through warm-up like he's ready to play.
I would not be surprised if he gets a few snaps this week.
Against Temple. I would not be shocked either. At all. Speaking of comments, thank you all for pulling up. Please hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, rate, review, give us 5. Let's go right into those comment sections. First and foremost, super chat from our good friend Midland Sooner. We actually met him last year at a game. What's going on? I think this Eli Bowen is getting his spot back. 4 is a due. Cortland Guillory, 100% is a due. Thank you for the $5. I do believe that I'll put it this way. This is kind of what I said. Personally, I would shirt Eli. Play him next season with Cortland Guillory. To me, that feels like the best thing to do. Because that would be so nasty.
That's dirty.
It's so nasty. If you think about it, it could be so nasty. So, yeah, that's kind of my thought.
You know, Eli was out there, no boot, no anything. He was out running around. Mm-hmm. So again, if you can and if that's going to fly, then you do it.
Yeah.
100%. So, yeah, what else you got there?
Brandon Davis says, it's my personal opinion that Blaylock is the best option at running back. Do we think Ott is just dinged up a bit? And we've talked about Ott a little bit, and yeah, this is my thought process is I think he's still playing hurt. So it's going to be a bit before we actually get the real Ott. Before we get the real Ott to please stand up. I think I'm going to say Auburn. I think he plays a lot in the Temple game. To me, I'd play Ott in Temple over Blaylock just to get him even more comfortable. And then if he breaks out in that game, then boom, you play him in Auburn. If not, you keep Blaylock healthy. You already know what he can do. You help him up. You run with him. You run with X. Hopefully Taylor Tatum comes back soon. All of that with that component.
I agree. And like I said, I got 4 carries. 4. He went for 9 yards. We didn't see much. And I know that 2 of the carries, he was hit in the backfield. So, yeah, he had 9 carries. But, let's just, pump the brakes. And I think that this is the negative side of the NIL. This is also the negative side of compliments during the preseason. Where the H is this dude at? And I can promise you this. Jay Knott wants to go out there and he wants to do a great job. But he's still shaking rust off. Dude did not practice for almost 2 months. And so he's just now kind of week 3 of fall camp shape. And that was a very, very tough defensive line. Now, Jay, I think it's fair to say that if we go out against Temple, who is 2-0, so it's going to at least look like a little bit better than it was last year. But that's a team that still has the same athletes, still has the same players that we took the ball away from 6 times last year. Yeah. We should go up there and absolutely wax it with them. If we can't run the ball with a 4+ yard per carry type of a clip next week, yeah, I understand some of the concerns. I also know that we ran the ball with Mateer a lot last night because it worked. And if Arbuckle
we'll probably do it again.
If Arbuckle quit doing it and we couldn't run and we lose the game, and then somebody says, well, Mateer was running the ball really effectively, why do we quit? So it's like damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of thing with the fans sometimes. So, hey, listen, we care about the number on the left side of the hash. As long as that number goes up and the other side doesn't do anything, I think we're good.
It's a good point. Sissy asked the question. My question with the Sooner offense is they need to do a better job blocking, open up holes for our running backs. With Mateer scrambling is going to get him hurt if he cannot protect him better. I don't know, man. Sissy, great. Thank you for the statement. And I'm not sure it's a question, but that's a good statement. So will the offense know they need to? Yes, they do. That's something we're working on. Other thing too is for a lot of people to understand is that trying to figure out how to say this best. John Mateer won't be the only quarterback to ever do a whole bunch of running in the SEC. I think that's probably the best way to say it. Like we just had a quarterback that won the Heisman Trophy, Jaden Daniels, who ran for ran a lot, and he's a lot smaller than John
And
Mateer. But now, granted, Mateer needs to stop trying to run people over all the time. But yes, I think he can do it.
Diego Pavia was the number 6 leading rusher in the SEC last year.
Oh, that's a good point. Diego Pavia that's literally his brand of football. Being tough is all that matters.
Jalen Milroe, the number 12. Lenora Sellers, the number 14. Taylon Green, the number 20. Like, these things happen. This is what it is. And John Mateer said it great. I think I can't remember if it's what he said to Holly Rowe at the end or if it was in the presser, but he said, "You know what? Exactly. All right, Jay, look at you. Look how smart you are. Pulling up the exact thing I was about to say. Offensive coordinators don't want to deal with the +1 run scheme. And if you don't know what that means, and if you didn't understand why I slurred because my voice is toasted, is when you have a +1, you now take your running back. And so if you got 5 offensive linemen, a tight end, and a running back, by my count, that's 7 blockers, and you got 5 people to block, you're going to be able to move the ball 6, 7, 8 yards. And Mateer is not only a triple threat from the charisma aspect, the passing ability and running ability, but with his running ability, there were multiple times that he put his foot in the ground and dudes lost their jocks. He did it on the sideline. Dude came flying through to trying to drill him. He stopped. Dude flew by. He got 3 or 4 more yards. Like, this guy is good at this. This is what he did last year. He had 19 touchdowns last year running the ball.
Yep.
He's used to getting hit. And I promise you, that last hit right before we kicked the field goal to go up to 24, he came off at the 2-minute stoppage, and you could see he was like, he doesn't want to get drilled right in the face, but he also knows. He took running back training, so he trains as a running back, so that means that he knows how to not just run up and just get drilled. Like, he's trying to deflect and take the least amount of contact.
Exactly. David says this, been 15 years since complimentary OU football, just makes me so happy. That's 100% correct. Michael asked a great question to us. Michael earned the center spot. There's a lot of shakeup on that offensive line, Coop. And it does feel like Jake Michael, he graded out very well, to be absolutely honest. I think he may have the spot. And unfortunately for Troy Everett, who is a captain, Michael may have got it.
He's just built better for what we're going to see. He was built better for this strong defensive line. Listen, I think that Michigan's probably going to have a better team that like they had last year. They had 0 offense. They went through the same exact things that we went through last year. But I could promise you that Underwood is going to get the training wheels taken off. They weren't going to do that this weekend.
This was the one team they couldn't do that on. Yeah.
No, because you take a dude coming out the backside, hits him in the back, you get his confidence shaken, and that affects your entire season. But you saw how fiery he was. He was getting in Justice Haynes' backside after something, and you saw, we didn't obviously see that until watching the replay, but this guy has some charisma and he has some desire, and I can promise you this. There's probably people in his DMs and people in his text messages already saying, "Hey man, that's a disservice. We want you to be you. We'll be looking for a quarterback next year." I can promise you people are already hitting him up because I think he does have it. But he is still young, and that's one of the things that we said coming in this game. Second start of your career on the road against BV.
I told y'all this going into this game. This was the game that I preferred that we see him. Thank you so much for that, Michael. That's a good question. Why my preference for getting Underwood this early? Because I think later in the season he's going to be a lot better. Like, I think he's going to be able to win games for them later. I did see that, Jack. Yeah. I did see that when he slapped the ball out of Burke's hands. That was Deion Burks. That was very annoying. I think somebody said something
Deion
like
Burks said.
Exactly. First down. Over under on commits this weekend. Well, I just saw. Well, over under set at 10. I'll say about because
no,
I say the over.
I say the over under. I've heard the numbers around 6 to 7, and we could see 26s, 27s, and 28s, Jay.
So you're seeing it down the line because a lot of them, again, Cortland Guillory, Jaden Jackson, Eli Bowen, what they showed you is that you can play as a true freshman in this system.
Yeah.
BV will gladly put you on the field. Valai will put you on the field. Bates, Chavis will put you on the field as a true freshman. So you're going to see a lot of kids be like, "Oh, if they'll give me a shot, I'm here for it."
If they'll give me a shot,
shows you,
and they're going somewhere with this team.
You got to win games. Win games is still important.
Yeah, it's week 2. Jay, you want some stats?
Please give me some stats while I put this next question.
Got some fun stats for you all. And I'm jacking this first one, but because I heard it earlier, and I think it was Radosevic. Did you know that John Mateer has now thrown for more yards in his first 2 games as a Sooner than anybody as a Sooner? And can you tell me who had that number 1?
It's got to be Sam Bradford. And mainly because that year was one of the record-setting statistical seasons, and I think Sam started off very, very hot. Was it Sam?
I think I can't remember if it was Sam or not. To be honest with you, I was mowing the yard when I was listening to it, but you're gonna have to look that up. No, it does not matter doesn't matter who it is. It was Heupel. No, that's right. Thanks, David.
It was Heupel. Somebody said in the chat. Thank you.
Yeah,
it was
Chamberlain.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Makes sense.
I thought it was either Sam or Landry, but
Mason Young tweeted that out too. I did see that. Good job. That's a good one.
So there's one stat for you. I already gave you the rushing stat. So let's see here. The third down conversions. Michigan was 3 of 14. Third down conversions. And OU was 9 of 17. So guys, I say this is yes. Downs? Yes, we did it pretty well. So here's where I am here's where I'm going. Jay, I turned to you and I said, "Man, I would give this a B- or a C+ performance last night from the entire team in general." And I think you said, "Yeah, I think a B- is probably what I would do." We already gave you the kind of the free first down stats earlier. Here is the absolute Chuck. I'm just too excited about everything. I'm sorry.
He has no voice.
I'm just trying to hang on. I got home at 3 a.m. and was up at 8 a.m. And so, but yeah, so I would say this team messed up a lot and we left a lot on there. I think there were throws that could be made better. Mateer took that right on, with Holly Rowe in the post game, said the same stuff. He's like, we have a lot that we can clean up. This was a B- as far as the whole team goes. I think, I think the special teams. Here's the thing is, I wouldn't be so upset with Omosigo if he didn't get away with it the previous punt. Because the previous punt, he also drilled the punter and nothing happened. This dude behind us was like, "Oh, these SEC refs," and that's when we're like, "No, they're Big Ten refs." And he was like, "Oh, well, they don't want us to win." I'm like, "Come on, dude.
Big Ten hates us. They hate us.
Big Ten hates us." But I just say this is, there is an absolute. That's why people are so excited about this team. You've seen J.D. Piquel. You've seen a lot of other people putting OU at number 10 in their personal rankings. I think what's really fun, and Piquel said it best, he's like, we still don't really know what OU is because we don't know what Michigan is. And the same thing with LSU, Clemson. LSU didn't look very good. Clemson didn't look very good. And we're still early in the season. But he said, you don't want to find yourself locked behind doors with OU right now. You don't.
Nope. You do not want to be locked. You don't want to be fighting with the way these Sooners are playing. All right. Let's get around the SEC. We're about an hour in, dude. We've been really going. Lastly, recruits. There was a lot. And Drew, straight up, the whole point of this system is set up to where we're going to do what needs to be done to win games. Recruiting-wise, though, there was 140-plus recruits from 26, 27, 28. You had some 5, some 4 stars, some unranked kids. You had a bunch in. And there was a couple 5 stars that had some massive statements. It was Josh Dobson, the corner, was like, yes. Basically, his statement was, y'all got a freshman out there, and he was killing it. I want that to be me next.
5-star defensive back.
You had Jalen Brewster. I know I did see him. I saw him tweeted out, the defensive lineman out of Texas, the number one in the country. He's definitely going to be a 5-star. I think he saw what Stone and Jay Jackson and them were doing and realized that, oh, wait, that Dominic guy and that Grayson Halton guy are going to be gone. Now, they got a Trent dude and they got this Marcus Strong guy that I will compete with, but playing time is possibly there.
Yeah.
Put it this way. Peyton Houston was at a quarterback, and he commits on next Monday. Not this Monday, but next Monday. My expectation is Oklahoma's going to win that commitment. They're going to get their 2027 quarterback. They get their 2027 quarterback. Guess what happens from there, Coop? Now you can focus on the rest of the class. And he's going to be doing all kinds of recruiting because Peyton Houston is good.
And Jay, not just recruiting for the 27 class or even the 28 class. We all have seen the whispers. There's some 26 dudes that could be coming because Peyton Houston. And once it's public and once he goes out with it on the 15th, I'm just saying the 26 class could get very, very spicy very, very quick. Because the negative recruiting stuff is now all of a sudden kind of legless.
It's hurting. Yeah, because that was the whole thing with the recruiting piece is that everyone was basically saying, oh, you don't want to go to Oklahoma because they suck and nobody's healthy and it's not very good, blah, 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 blah. That's where for us it was, we got to go show it on the field. This game was the one. Regardless of how good or bad we think Michigan is a brand. And we know the name that Michigan is. People are still going to be like, well, it's Michigan. They won a natty 2 years ago. They're still dealing with a whole bunch of stuff. But guess what? They won a natty 2 years ago. The brand is what was our saving grace here. And we won in a way against a team that's known for being super physical and pushing people around. That's got an offense that's a lot more competent than it was last year. It's probably twice as good as last year. The only thing that sucks for them is their quarterback saw us the second game of the season. November, kid might be legit. October, kid might be legit.
I mean, Jay, somebody made a comment about Michigan's schedule, and man, I don't know if they play anybody with a pulse for quite a while. Just pulling it up, they got Central Michigan and then at Nebraska.
Hey, people think Nebraska's a playoff team. Just gonna put that out there.
Yeah,
people are sold on them. I'm just the messenger.
I'm not one of them.
I'm not one of them.
But you got Wisconsin, the SC. So that's probably the playing old Lincoln. They're going to be playing out there in Cali, and Michigan doesn't travel well to the West Coast. That's reading.
I've heard that
stuff
from some of their fans.
From their boards, from their fans and stuff. That's them saying that. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But Michigan could go out there and mess around and be in contention for the Big Ten title. And if you get through and your 2 losses end up being, let's say Oklahoma and Ohio State, and OU is doing some nasty 10-2 type of stuff, Michigan might be in the playoffs.
Yeah, there's a chance. Yeah. All I know is Michigan is still a really good school at recruiting. So that tells you everything you need to know. And BV, again, thank you, Kim, for saying this. You were one of my doubters on here. But this is one of them. This needs to be said. BV needs his flowers to turn the program around because BV did exactly what I told y'all he would do. He got y'all the defense y'all been asking for. Now he needs an offense. And he went and hired a dude that's known for putting up some offenses. Guys, our quarterback leads the SEC in passing yards. We play one cupcake, and we played an actual really good defense.
I was laughing because Sooner for Life, shout out
Yes.
for Belichick's girlfriend getting their first win.
Fair.
Oh, there's the Sooner Cowboys we know and love. Still got a long way to go.
Yeah, you're almost there. Still a long way to go. Yeah, and we do. I agree. You enjoy this victory though, because I was told that this wasn't even going to happen.
No. And again,
you know where our defense is ranked in passing defense right now, Coop?
I know that it is one of the. I mean, we're starting for all the bad program worst since last year. And again, I feel like we're almost ready to, put last year in the past. I know that the passing yards given up, I mean, it's one of the best 2-game stretches in program history.
Yep. 88 yards so far. Number 6 in the country.
Truth. No, everybody did not pick OU to win.
Yeah, no, they did not. Did you not see everybody on game day basically on Get Up? Everybody on Get Up picked Michigan.
Get Up. Everybody on Get Up.
Michigan. It was a half and half split on game day, mainly because and I think Big Noon Kickoff, everybody picked Michigan.
Yeah. So get it right, son.
Yeah. We people weren't picking us. Like most of your experts were like, "Oh, Oklahoma's got something. We'll see what this can Mateer handle the Big Ten and the SEC. We don't know. He could do it against G5s. We've seen that. Even though he paid Texas Tech and Washington, but I digress. We don't know if he can do it. He did it. Michigan fans was in my comments telling me I was crazy for thinking that Mateer can win the game by himself. So I don't say that as an attack to you, Truth. I know you don't probably watch all those shows and stuff. But what our point is, majority of stuff that the Heat, dog, I was on Locked On College Football. I went back and looked at the comments when I was talking to my guy Spencer McLaughlin. Spencer pointed out, because he picked us to win this game. He's like, the offense is still too immature at Michigan to really win this game. And I was like, this is the things that I see for us to win this game is going to be Mateer. Like, I think people are failing to realize Mateer is really that dang good. And people are more and more buying into it. I said, they're going to win. And that's what happened. No, not all the experts. Saban didn't even pick us.
Yeah, no, that's why I started out the show with Saban. Get your ass.
Saban didn't think we were ready in the trenches yet. They think we're too light in the britches.
Listen, Jay, let's take a walk around the SEC real quick.
Take a real quick lap around the SEC. Thank y'all for pulling up. Hit the like button. New to the channel, subscribe, rate, review us, give us 5. Where do you want to begin?
Wasn't much, and that's one of the reasons why there was 140 some odd recruits here this weekend. Because
we had the biggest game.
There were not really any games going on. Let's make it very, very fast. Let's start with the LSU game. Does that LSU game?
Should we be concerned?
Is LSU and Clemson not very good?
It's starting to feel like this more and more.
And I'm not saying
23-7 against Louisiana Tech does not scream good.
And I think Troy was up 16-0 over Clemson. So
16-3 or something like that. Yeah.
I think they erased a 16-0 deficit. But regardless, it's LSU was up 17-0 going into the fourth quarter. They can't. I mean, listen, man. That offensive line's got to come together. I mean, they could not run the ball. I think Nussmeier threw the ball 41 times, and Nussmeier's not running.
Wait, what?
Against Louisiana Tech.
Let me get this off the screen. Why is this doing this? I don't know why they did that. Sorry about that, y'all. That's a lot. Why would you throw? Let me go to this box score real quick because I don't believe you. Wow, he threw the ball 26 for 41, 237.
Hey,
But
listen,
why, Coop?
and
With a touchdown and a pick, they ran for 128
that
yards in that game.
And the one touchdown did go to Nick Anderson. I mean, I know that teams are still kind of getting through some stuff. I think Sharp had one catch again. I don't know if he had any fumbles or anything for 8 this week, but
no fumbles. I don't think.
But I'm just saying, like, man, Caden Durham 13 carries for 29 yards. So I mean, the reason why I'm pointing this out is there's a lot of people, saying we got to get better on the offensive line. Listen, there's not. The COVID years and all that stuff is done, and you have a lot of turnover that has happened on the lines, especially the offensive lines. There's a lot of offensive lines in the country struggling. And so I'm just saying, I mean, with what we saw yesterday against a really, really stout line, I mean, we still ran it better than LSU did.
I mean, Georgia, same thing. But you could tell Georgia wasn't putting anything on tape. They were getting Gunnar Stockton throws because he has no reps. I mean, you beat Austin Peay 28-3, 28-6. It's kind of questionable, but at the same time, feels like with the Austin Peay one, it's more of a we need our quarterback to throw the ball more because Gunnar Stockton hasn't thrown the ball much besides in the game against Texas and the SEC championship game and in the bowl game, and then to start the season 2 more games. You don't have much. You don't have much tape, so you probably should do more.
They also
with him.
They also had like a lightning delay for a while too, and so I'm guessing Kirby just want to get the hell out of Dodge and
That's
get
the
boys home.
Very fair point. Texas and San Jose State. That game started off a little bit ugly. There's a lot of videos going around about the boy Arch. Look, I understand as Sooner fans, y'all enjoy bagging on them, so I'm not going to even stop you. Just know that I don't participate in it, and mainly because I don't think Arch is going to be bad. I think he's going to be good in time. I just don't know what he's going to look like this year. Next year, I think he'll be a lot better. That's why it was smart for Archie to kind of throw out there before the season started that Arch was definitely coming back next season. I think that was kind of one of those, hey, just the FYI. He's probably not going to be that great this year, but next year he should be fine. He's going to come back for another year.
Jay, their offensive line play was also inconsistent, and his receivers were not helping him out. There's the routes were not getting ran appropriately. There were drops. He still mixes in a nice little worm burner every once in a while on the throws, and things go awry. But again, in Texas, I think always has one of these early season games to where they play a San Jose State or a Temple Southern or something like that they kind of need their defense to put them in a good spot, and then the offense gets rolling. I'm a little. I want to see what that. There was some videos going around about his shoulder, and I don't. There's some folks getting upset that he was still in there throwing with that shoulder like that. So, I think it means there's a lot. Yeah, Wingo has the hands of a dingo.
He ain't catching. He got paws, man. His paws ain't catching. It's weird.
No.
Seeing that from them, but we'll get off of them because I don't think that was an important game for the weekend. South Carolina beat South Carolina State 38-10. Mississippi State with the upset of Arizona State. Did you see that catch by Brendan Thompson to win that bad boy?
BT, man. I tweeted to his mom right before games got kicked off this weekend, and I'm pretty sure Brendan Thompson is also. I think that he is either leading the SEC in receiving or he's in the top 5. I know that for sure.
I think so. Let me go look. I will check the conference now.
I'm looking at.
He is. Brennan is number. He's probably. Let me see. Are you talking about in receptions or yards?
Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing yards.
Here, let me see reception yards. I'm going to pull it up now. Yep,
Brennan
I'm in the
Thompson's
SEC
number
stats.
3. He's number 3.
In receiving yards in the SEC. At least in the nation. Yeah.
And Deion Burks is number 5.
Nice. Oh, look at you, BT.
No. And And our boy Farouk. I know that we're not talking, we're not talking ACC, but Farouk had himself a day. I think he had 2 touchdowns and 100 plus yards for Maryland. But
Andrell
no,
Anthony
I mean,
did well at Duke. They're losing, but whatever. Yeah. They lost
hey,
that
listen,
game badly.
the Big 12 may be ass. I mean, they may be bad. Just
2-pack of it. Cool.
It does not look good right now.
Look,
And
let me say this in the nicest way possible. In this, Sam Levitt was told to me that he is a Heisman Trophy candidate. He was like one of the favorites by a lot of people.
he's right above me.
He was terrible. 10 for 22, 82 yards, a touchdown, and 2 picks. They had 2 100-yard rushers in this game, Coop, and still couldn't win this game.
Raleek Brown.
Raleek, hey, old friend alert. I ain't seen him in a while. Yeah, Raleek had a game. So did Kanye. Like they were running it down the throat, and then Blake Shapen went out there, balled out. Brennan got his 100 yards. Anthony Evans, hey, another old friend alert.
Yeah,
got 100 yards. Hey, look, Jeff Levy's out there just picking up all of his old players and say, hey, y'all, man, look, I know I recruited you, dog. Why don't you come over here and help me at Mississippi State? We'll make something happen in Stark Vegas. And they're making things happen in Stark Vegas.
What I would say, Jay, is Arizona State, if you have a tiny, fast as hell wide receiver, throw them fly routes, because apparently Anthony Evans and Brennan Thompson, if you need them to fight through traffic, bug on a windshield. But if you need them just to take off running down the sideline, they can do that for you. So if you are playing Arizona State this year, bombs down the sideline.
Just bomb it down the sideline. Florida losing to South Florida. Look, I'm gonna say this in the kindest way possible. Alex Ghosh is a good coach.
Very much.
That's basically what I'm gonna tell you. He's a good coach. And I thought he was good when he was at Tennessee, and I wondered what Tennessee would look like without him. And the offense kind of looked a little shaky. He's good. Alex Ghosh is good. He went out there and that's a good. That was a good win for him.
I can promise you, there are a bunch of coaches and agents and stuff like that in current Florida commitments, DMs and text messages saying how you feeling. But I can also say that there's probably a lot of Florida folks, because Napier got the kiss of death. But there might be a lot of Florida folks who are in Ghosh's DMs too. A lot of boosters, because
I would be.
Napier got the this wasn't it. Like, you already got a tough schedule. You just did that.
Exactly. Of course, I know y'all want to talk about this. We're going to jump in these other games.
Coaching.
We'll talk about this, and then we'll go to the last set of games real quick. Oklahoma State getting destroyed by Oregon, 69-3. They gonna shut the program down there in Stillwater? We'll shut it down. Caleb Hicks has 63. Hey, old friend alert! 63 yards.
Yeah.
Off 14 carries. Shout out to him. Cheeks.
I will say this: shout out to Tyler Teabag Adams. He's on the Sports Animal in the morning. He is a very, very big poke guy, and if you want some good old comedy, go check out his tweets from during the game. They knew that they were going to get blown out. Most of the intelligent fans knew. If you allowed yourself to feel that after Haney got hurt and that you were going to go out there and make a game of it, that's like cutting yourself. I mean, you're just that's bad juju. And now there's a lot of people going, hey, look at Oregon. Breaks on the Oregon might be elite, because I still want to see them play somebody with a pulse. And Oklahoma State is getting disrespected pretty much everywhere. I heard on ESPN radio driving home in the middle of the night. Of course, it was only Oklahoma State, and for a team that was trying to win a conference championship just, what was it, 2-3 years ago? Man, it's going south fast down there.
It's going south real fast. Back to SEC play. We've got Ole Miss and Kentucky. Man, Kentucky be just giving Ole Miss just the fits, man. Like, anytime you see a spread in that game, if it's more than 10 points, you better take Kentucky as the dog because they be giving them boys fits, man.
Hey, it's like Kansas State with us for so many years. It did not matter what Kansas State's record was, as long as it wasn't the game right after Texas. But Kansas State was going to play us tough. It was like Iowa State with Lincoln Riley there. They were going to play us tough. Kentucky just somehow has it. And Ole Miss almost. I mean, Kentucky blew that game.
They did. They had it. They had a chance. And they did a really bad job of possibly making something happen. Just all around bad. Bama has redeemed themselves. Looks like Bama's back. Kidding. 73-0. That's not going to tell you that they're back. That's just a butt kicking. We do play Ole Miss.
At home.
We do play Ole Miss. We play them at home. They come to the crib after we play South Carolina. Thank goodness. Missouri wins the border war with Kansas. Did you see that dude? I heard this. I didn't realize, and then I saw the video like an hour or two ago. Kid had the opportunity to kick a field goal and win $25,000. Right? He kicked the ball at Kansas's sideline to troll his rival. Thought it was hilarious.
I mean, that
I take this stuff too seriously.
I got to think that in today's world, dude may get more monetary value out of doing that than actually making that 25, because you're going to pay taxes on the 25 and you're probably going to end up seeing around 13,000. But I promise you there's probably some internal GoFundMe or folks are hitting his Venmo and his Cash App up and he's going to get free drinks all over the place. Man, I would have done the same. I think that's a bold strategy, and I think that's one that pays off.
Yep. Yeah,
but
he'll never have to buy a drink there for a while. Vanderbilt beating Virginia Tech on the road. They were down. First time in like 80 years that Vanderbilt came back from a 10-plus point deficit. Whom's amongst us would have believed that?
I mean, I think Virginia
impressed.
Tech's not very good. I think that coach probably is going to have. Is this his first year or second year? I don't know. Whatever it is, I don't think next year is going to be another one. I think Virginia Tech had South Carolina kind of shook and scared for a little while last week. But, I picked Vanderbilt, and I didn't think it was going to ever be a battle. But when you got Diego Pavia, I mean he's got championship mindset, so he's going for it all. Now I don't think he's going to get it all, but that's his mindset.
Shout out to Diego Pavia though. I like that he put the team on his back and he went and he's making something happen. So. That's all that matters. All right, thank y'all for pulling up. Hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, rate, review, give us 5. Me and Coop will be back on Wednesday. We will be previewing Temple. We will, we'll do that. We've got a few different ones that we'll talk about, but of course, videos will continue to come. We'll talk. We'll talk about polls that came out. OU's got themselves ranked in a good spot. We'll go through the coaches poll and AP poll when they officially finish everything. AP's out. We're 13th. We'll talk about that and all of the fun stuff from there. So thank y'all. Enjoy your evening. Enjoy this victory because Monday starts the whole new week. We need to start focusing on to Temple. Chop it up with all y'all soon. Peace.